I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, good evening, students. As sir has already mentioned that today's session is in communication skills, and today we are not going to do directly any so-called technical session like any Python programming, coding, or any data analysis. But it is equally important for anyone who wants to become a good, not only a good data science engineer or data analyst, even though if you are going to be in a professional world, it is very important to feature this particular one, this communication part. So let me begin with the before going to okay, let's check today's agenda. So our main focus for today is in the data science field, the importance of communication, identifying your communication style and audience needs, and principle of clear, concise, and persuasive communication. So these are the main three uh, agenda for today's discussion. So before going to depth of this three particular matter, let me start with the very simple story so that we can connect the topic with this. Imagine your mother sends you a message and she asks to bring some fruits on the way you're home. So what you did, you go to the shop and you brought some apples and banana. Now you come back thinking that you did a job well. But when you reach home, she says, she need watermelon and grapes. Now the point is, the issue is not that you failed to uh, identify the fruits, but the issue is that the message was incomplete. Your mother said, like, she needs some fruits. She didn't mention any particular one. And uh, you also didn't ask clarifying that particular question, like any particular one, whether she needs or not. So because of the communication was not clear, the outcome was not useful. So this story works well because it shows two common causes of miscommunication and unclear instructions, or what we can say, like the assumption by the listener, both of which are common in our everyday communication examples. So we can connect this particular one easily, with our this data analysis field. So how? Like, suppose you are walking. It's the same example we can connect. For example, suppose you are working in a e-commerce company or any particular company, and your manager tells you to analyze the customer data and tell him about what is happening. Okay. Now you may think the task is to study the overall user or customer behavior. So you prepare So you prepare a full report on sales trends, or like customer segments, purchase record, and say for traffic sources. But later on, when your manager says she or he needs to know why users are leaving at the payment page because our conversion rate that has dropped after the new product update. So same thing happens. So the issue was not lack of the your analysis. The issue was lack of the clarity in the communication. So if the data scientist had asked, which product metric are you worried about? What decision will this analysis support? Which users and the time period should I focus on? Then the work would have been much more useful. So the communication here, communication plays a very, very crucial role, even though you are in your daily life or in your professional life. So the clarity of the communication is very, very important for a successful project or anything. So now coming to the So now, if I'm asking you, you forgot about anything. Like I'm not asking you about the communication. Like what is the technical definition of communication? In general, if I am asking you, like what is communication? Why do we need this? So, anyone having any idea, like without any technical jargons, like what is communication? Convey our message, what to do, exchanging thoughts, way of interacting, saying what one thinks, answer once. Yeah, correct. So, basically, communication is nothing but sharing information. Now it can be form of anything. Communication is a way to share your ideas, your feelings, and the information with others through words, expression, or any kind of media. Okay. Now, before going to that particular core part, like why communication skill is important for a data scientist, let me ask you one thing. What is AI or machine learning? If I'm asking you this question, can you please answer me without any technical words, without any technical jargons? Just explain in simple language, no technical jargon allowed. You can use some daily example as well. Anyone having any idea? Can you express it with a very generic example? Google Map. Yeah, perfectly fine. Google Map. Anyone else? YouTube giving suggestion. Correct. Correct. So basically, the example we can yes, yes. So we can consider Netflix recommendation, YouTube suggestion, Google Maps, as someone said, online shopping, Spotify, your Facebook, online food delivery app, voice assistants. Okay, so Google Map, someone said, So these all are very much associated with our daily life, which can express the AI or machine learning very well. So always we need not to express the things in a technical way. So it would be always better to express the things in terms of the very generic terms, so that a person who is not associated with the technical background, she can understand the things very well. Now the point is, why is communication crucial? So today we are going to discuss a very important topic in this data science, like why communication is crucial in case of this data science. Now many people think like data science is only about coding, machine learning, algorithms, statistics, data analysis, data visualization, this much. But in reality, data science is much more than just crunching the numbers. So, at its core, data science is about driving the impact. Okay. So, a data scientist may build highly accurate model, generate the complex, the insights, or analyze the huge amount of, the data. However, if those insights or the the insights that they are generating uh, are not properly communicated, understood, or act upon, then even the best model become useless. That is why communication plays a central role in the success of any data science project. So, the first thing, that is data science is more than just a crunching numbers. So the first point mentioned here, that data science is more than just a crunching numbers, it is about driving the impact. So this means the ultimate goal of data science is not only to analyze the data, but to create the real value from it. For example, if you are considering a retail company may use the data science to predict the customer behavior. A hospital may use the predictive analysis to identify the disease risk. A bank may use the machine learning to detect the fraud. Okay. So, but this prediction only valuable, these all other predictions only become valuable when decision makers understand them and use them to take action. So, if a data scientist cannot explain what model discovered, why the insights are matters, and what action should be taken, then the analysis remains only a technical exercise instead of creating the business impact. You have to keep in your mind that whenever you are working in that particular stage, it's not about only generating the reports, it's not about generating the data visualization or creating some the big coding. You have to keep in your mind that how your model, how your product will create the business impact. So the second point, the most sophisticated models are useless if their insights are understood and acted upon. What does it mean? The most models are useless if their insights are not understood and acted upon. This is one of the biggest realities in the industry. This is the very important one. A data scientist might develop a deep learning model, a recommendation engine, or some predictive forecasting system. but technically the model may perform extremely well, but the business stakeholders such as the managers, executives, or the clients may not have the technical backgrounds. So keeping in mind, they are usually interested in the questions like, what problem does this solve, how accurate is it, what benefits will it bring, or you can say like, the decision should they make based on this. So if the explanation is too technical, it's too technical, filled with the some technical jargon, equations, coding terms, stakeholders may become confused and fail to trust the result. So as a consequence, the project may not get approved, recommendation may not be implemented, or the valuable insights may simply be ignored. Therefore, the effective communication ensures that the technical insights lead to a real action. So, what are the core challenges here based on this slide? Now, the core challenges, first, as we mentioned, like data scientists often live in a world of technical details. What does it mean? Mostly you will see like, even if I'm asking you like, explain your well, after few days, section 1 will do some project and section 2 will do some group project. Whenever you will explain that, if I'm asking you explain your project briefly, most of the case, communication for experts that are common people are very different. I will check the chat box a little bit later. Okay. So, what I was telling. Okay. So, uh, in case of this particular first point, data scientists often live in the world of technical details. So, yeah, I was talking about your project. So, if I'm asking you, if I'm asking any of you, like, explain me in brief what you did. So the your concentration will be mainly on algorithm, the data processing, statistical model, coding, feature engineering, or sometimes some optimization technique or the model evaluation. So mainly you will focus on this particular point. Whenever anyone will ask you about your project, because of this, the data scientists often communicate using the technical language. For example, they may talk about the uh, regression coefficient, like the neural network, precision or recall, or like the confidence intervals. So while these concepts are important technically, but non-technically stakeholders may not understand them clearly. So this creates a communication barrier between the data scientist and the other stakeholders who are not technically sound, or the person who is going to purchase that particular one, they are not technically sound, they won't understand your this particular coding language, your this particular this regression coefficients, your hyperparameter tuning, your neural networks framework, they won't understand this. So this will create a big communication barrier in between. And the second one is the business stakeholders need clear, actionable recommendation. So, in the other hand, the business leaders focus on, in this with respect to this particular point. So, business leaders or business stakeholders, what they do? They focus on revenue growth, customer satisfaction, cost reduction, um, efficiency. Okay, so they usually do not need any technical detail. Instead, they want simple, direct, direct answers, such as like, as I already mentioned in the previous point, like what is the the key sites, or what problem it will solve, or the action should company take based on that, or the what business value will this create, the main point, what business value it will create. So they will ask you in terms of that, from the business perspective. So for instance, just take an example. Instead of saying the model achieved 92% accuracy using the gradient boosting, for example, a better business oriented communication would be like, the system can accurately identify the customer likely to leave, or allowing the company to improve the customer retention. This translation from the technical language to business language is extremely important. Okay. So the next point is, communication is a bridge between these two worlds, like this data scientists and the business stakeholders. So communication is a bridge between these two worlds. Okay, a successful data scientist must act as a bridge between the technical team and the business team, the data scientist and the business actions. So the models, just a moment. When business owners just are concerned with the data analyzed or what data tells. So the model will use. No, no, that is obviously concerned to them. But the thing is, you have to, the models are important. The what I said, like, what is the key insight? What is the key insight? What problem did we solve using that particular one? So that signifies the model is specific model is very important. But the manager will not concentrate on the technical ground. He or she will think from the perspective of the business mind. He won't express, as I already mentioned, like, he will not, the manager will not explain the thing in terms of like, the algorithm, the statistical model, or the coding, like in like optimization of a particular system, or like, the regression coefficient. They won't use this particular one. They are not ready to understand all the technical things. Their concern is how it will create the business value, how the company, how the action should be, should the company take, what action should company take, and how, what problem they can solve using that particular model, or whatever the data analysis they had did. So that, so definitely the model is important, but the thing is, for that particular position, for that, two different genre is there, data scientists and business stakeholders. So data scientists will do the entire analysis part, entire technical, they are closely related to the technical one, but their job is to explain the entire technical thing in such a way so that a person who will purchase that particular one, maybe he or she is not from the technical background, he will understand that. Yeah, that is the key insights. This using this particular one, we can solve this one, and the this will create this much of business value. So that is the point. And I have given you one example as well, like say you are doing some you have created some model and you have achieved 90% accuracy. Okay, so you said like the model achieved 90% accuracy as a data scientist to your manager. Now the point is, it doesn't mean your manager is not interested, or he is not he is not focusing on your model you are using. But the point is, he wants to know, like, 90% accuracy mean what? How will you explain this one in terms of that? What will be the business value it will create? What are the key insights behind that? So rather than saying this model has achieved 90% accuracy, for the better business oriented communication, better data representation for the non-technical person, you can say like the system can accurately identify the 90%. We can say that it almost more than 90% mean we can consider that it's uh, the accurately identifying the customer behavior, or the customer segments, area wise segments, anything like that. So yeah, I mean, before that, another question was there. Terminology with expert, business terminology with. Okay, let me complete the few things first. Then I will come to this question. Okay, just give me some time. So the impact is the ultimate goal. Now data science, now let's move to the next section, like this one. This means the final purpose of the data science is to solving the real world problem. How? Like, the data science project should aim to solve real world problems or improve business outcomes. Okay. Now, so data science projects should not exist only for experimentation or reports. They should contribute towards improving the customer experience, increasing the profits, reducing the risks, or optimizing the operations, or supporting the better in terms of the better decision making. So, for example, predicting equipment failure can from predicting equipment failure can reduce the maintenance cost, or we can say like analyzing the medical data can improve the patient care, or detecting the fraud can protect the financial institutions. So this focus should always be on generating the measurable values. Okay, understanding the business, the last point, that is the request, understanding the business context, translating the technical findings into meaningful insights, and the influencing decision making. So here we have three different very important part. Okay, the first one, that is requires understanding of business context. This is very important because data alone is not enough. Data alone is not enough. So, a data scientist must understand the industry, the business objective, customer behavior, operational challenges, and the organizational priorities as well. So, only then they can provide the meaningful insights. For example, if I am considering for a technical accurate model may still fail, but if it doesn't align with the business goal, therefore the communication helps the data scientist and ask the right questions and understand the stakeholders' expectation and align analysis with the organizational needs. So, in consequence to that, connecting to that, sorry, the translating technical findings into a very meaningful insights. This is the another important responsibility is translating technical result into meaningful insights. This means converting the statistics into stories, number into business implications, prediction to recommendation. So basically, what does it mean? Statistics to stories. You have analyzed some data. Now, whenever you are expressing those data, always keep in your mind, you have to express that analysis in a form of story, and the numbers uh, and the numbers into a business implications and the prediction into recommendation. So whatever the prediction you are getting, you have to express that particular one in a recommendation form. Now what kind of recommendation? Now for example, uh, for the let's take the first one, statistics to story. Okay. Now from your data set, like the internship, when you all have filled up the form after your payment, so we have more than 700 data. Okay. Now all of you are from different different background. Your qualification is different, qualification wise different, your location wise different, your year of passing wise different. So the basically when I am when I will summarize that particular data, how it will be easy for those particular person who are not involved with this. So we can say like this much of this percentage we are getting from Kolkata, this percentage we are getting outside Kolkata, this percentage, even in this year we have few participants out of India as well, and this amount of this percentage of interns joined out of India. So it will be easy for us to understand. So rather than telling like this here to the exact statistics, exact the numbers, so we have to communicate the things in a storytelling form. Okay. Now the last part, that is influencing the decision making. This is the another very important part that is quite connected with the technical findings into meaningful insights. So so if we consider a good communications that ensures the stakeholders do not only understand the findings but also feel confident enough to make decision based on them. So, uh, what are the key findings from here? So, all hinges on the effective communication. This means communication is the foundation that connects technical expertise, business understanding, stakeholder trust, real world impact. So, a data scientist who communicates effectively can influence the decision as well. Always keep in your mind. So, lead the project successfully, gain the stakeholders' confidence, and create the greater organizational value. In today's industry, technical skills alone are not sufficient enough, I'm telling you. So, the most successful data scientists are those who can analyze the data, generate the insights, and communicate those insights clearly, persuasively, and to the most specifically to the in front of the non-technical person. That is very, very important. Okay. Now the next point is reason for why communication skills are extremely important for a data scientist. Now, this is one picture. Okay, so I have just noted the the numbering I have put it. I didn't mention the name behind that, the picture, the actual title I didn't mention. So can you please tell me, like, any idea what does it signifies? Think of it from a from your company perspective, or uh, assume that you are working in a company, and how will you explain this particular picture? What does it signifies in terms of, if I am asking you why communication skills are extremely important for a data scientist? Any idea? Collaboration. Perfectly fine. Yeah, yeah. So it is basically collaborating with team members. So the very first point, that is collaborating with team members. Okay. So data science projects often involve the team of professionals from different disciplines. Okay, such as data engineering, data analysis, cloud engineering, business intelligence, business analysis, business operations. Many different discipline could have been there. So uh, good communication skills are the key to ensuring that everyone is aligned on the project goal, timelines, and deliverables. Okay, so this is very important that the every both the teams are ensuring that everyone is aligned on the project goals, timelines, and deliverables. So clear and concise communication helps to avoid the confusion, errors, and that ensures the team is working towards the same objectives. Two teams are collaborating and to express the ideas that one communication is important. Yes. So this is the first one. First picture defines collaborating with team members. Now coming to the next one. Next picture. Any idea about this? A very important term which I have been using since last 45 minutes most of the time. Yeah, it's not actually the group discussion, but one exactly stakeholders. Exactly. The correct word is stakeholders engagement. So basically, in addition to see the group discussion, I'm not telling you this is this is not this is absolutely wrong. But the thing is, you have to use the uh, accurate technical term, okay, based on the situation. So this is basically the stakeholder engagement. It's not brainstorming. It's not brainstorming. Brainstorming is something different. Stakeholders engagement, it is in addition to collaborating with the team members, the earlier one. In uh, no, stakeholders, why stakeholders involved in a group discussion? Because stakeholders doesn't mean like you are considering only the customer. So stakeholder a data scientist is always need to communicate with the stakeholders, such as like who are the stakeholders, like your project sponsors, your clients, your business owner, your executive, your C level leaders, your end users. So these are the very important parameter. So it is very important to communicate each of the steps. So by effectively communicating the value of the project and the data scientist, that can help to build the support and ensure that the project meets the needs of all stakeholders. Okay, so it is very important to communicate, to maintain a healthy communication in between all the stakeholders. I hope you understood, like, right? Like, why stakeholders are involved. And this is not group discussion. This is stakeholder engagement. Okay. So we have to use the accurate word. That is the stakeholder engagement. So here, this is very important for a data scientist to communicate with all the stakeholders. Okay, because as we have already mentioned, like a data scientist, to be a good data scientist for a communication, it is very very important. It is very very important because to incise the main remain unused, the decision be not weaker, the project doesn't lose the value. So it is very important to communicate with all the stakeholders. Okay, because I have already mentioned in the last slide, like the for a data scientist always who communicates effectively can influence the decision, leads the project, and the the other point I have mentioned, they have to gain the stakeholders confidence. That is very important to create the greater organizational value. Okay, so this is all about the stakeholders engagement. Now coming to the third point, third picture. Any idea of this? Concentrate on the, yes, idea, sharing ideas. Correct. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So we can say like in few of books I have taken this one few from few one of the book. So different book may use different language. So you can express sorry this one in a way like knowledge sharing as well, exchange of ideas as well, sharing ideas. So basically it is sharing the knowledge for with to either two-person or two different group. So as a field of data science is constantly evolving, Okay, data scientists need to be able to communicate their knowledge to others and continue their own learning through engagement with broader community. So this may involve participating, different conference, workshops, seminars, or to contributing to open source project, all of which require effective communication skills. So this is basically knowledge sharing. The more and more you will attend the, after a few times, maybe many of you will be in the field of academic, we will go to the industry. So you will face this conference, seminar, workshop very frequently. And then you will get to know that it is basically for more, it's more concentrate on networking and the to gather the knowledge. You will, the more you attend the conference and seminar, you will attract with different genre, people from different genre. So this is basically exchange of ideas, as someone said, sharing of ideas, knowledge sharing. Okay, now the next is this one. Any idea? Process. No, not process. Check this properly. It's a graph. Creating a model suited for the general market. No. Implementation, no. Project, trained, no. Steps of a evaluation to the evil implementation ideas, value, analysis, somewhat data to story. Yeah, correct. This one. Stories are more than value. Yeah, this too. Many things are coming. Anyway, those who has connected the thing with story and data to story, all of you are correct. Those who have connected with this two term, this is basically storytelling with data that I was telling. So a data scientist, not what I will suggest, it's not for only the data scientist. Being a good technical person, you need to be, it's very important that you need to be able to present the data driven insights effectively to tell a story with a data. A good data presentation needs to be visually appealing and easy to understand for the audience, which requires effective communication skills. Here, data we have, filter we have, visualize we have, stories we have. So basically, a storytelling data. So first, we will express the data, then from there whatever the filtering we are doing, whatever the data we are extracting, then their visualization, then the story, ultimate outcome. So how will you explain a particular data in a form of story? I will tell you after a few slides. Just hold on. Okay. So this I will give you with the proper technical model, this particular one, after a few slides. So, but just keep in your mind, always you have to represent your data into a storytelling form. Now, how you have to do it? That I will tell you. Now, this one. Any idea? This is quite similar with the earlier one. Analysis of the graph. Okay. Uh, Analysis of graph. Creating insights. Okay. Analysis of growth. Data visualization. This is basically, yeah, exactly. Somehow all of you are correct, and it's the inner meaning is quite similar to that. It is basically interpreting the results. Okay, interpreting the results. A data scientist need to able to explain the complex statistical or machine learning concepts and results to a non-technical stakeholders in a way that understandable and actionable. So the effective communication skills are essential for presenting this findings and recommendation to the non-technical audience. That is the thing. Now the last one, final one. Correct. Reports, not marketing, not marketing. Reports. It's somewhat it's very close to the answer. No, no, result we have already in the last one, right? The interpreting the result we have already. Now the thing is what we have to do. Reports, exactly. Working on the report. So basically the documentation. Exactly. Documenting the findings. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Documenting the findings. So many books you will get the topic, this particular picture represents in terms of project documentation, so you can express it in your own terms. That someone said, Rishit Banerjee said, like, documenting the findings. Perfectly said. Basically, in addition to the verbal communication, data scientist or any technical person need to able to document their work in a clear and concise manner. Documentation, wherever you are working, whatever you are doing, documentation is very important part. This includes the documenting codes, results, data visualization, analysis, assumptions, predictions in a way that can be easily understood by other team members and the stakeholders. Is it the same as finalization? I'm not getting your point. Like finalization mean same as finalization? Not getting you this particular term. So uh, these are the, like, document is finalized. Yes, that is the finalized part. That is the final step. You are collaborating. You are collaborating with your team. You are discussing with your. You just check the six picture step by step. First, you are what you are doing. First, you are collaborating. You got a project. You got a project. So then you are collaborating with your entire team members. Then you are discussing with your stakeholder, all the stakeholders, partners. Then you are within your team or within your group, you are sharing the knowledge, whatever the ideas you are getting, that you are sharing. Then the analysis part, you are doing the analysis, you are creating the story. Then in the fifth point, you are interpreting the result, and the final step, you are documenting, project documentation. The sixth point is project documentation. Okay, exactly, exactly. So uh, what I will do, for this class, I didn't as I will ask you, so that is why I didn't mention the title here. So once I will share the PPD, I will mention the name as well here with the same key point. This is exactly the collaborating with the team members. Then the stakeholder, the second step, stakeholders decision. Then knowledge sharing, third step. Then the fourth one is the that is storytelling with data. Then the fifth is interpreting the results, And the final stage, sixth stage, that is the project documentation. Okay. So, who has someone has written collaborating, stakeholder discussions, sharing ideas, implementation, and then yeah, it's quite okay. So I will share the detail anyway. Okay. Now the some few technical thing, a few theoretical parts like benefits of the effective communication. Now, as we have already discussed, like in the previous slide, we discussed about the reason for why communication skills are extremely important for a data scientist. Okay, why this is important. Now, the next is benefits of effective communication. What are the benefits? Now, first is that is increased project success rates and better stakeholders buy-in supports. Okay. Now, increased project success rate. What does this mean? Many projects fail not because that the idea is bad, because the team members misunderstands the goals. What they misunderstand? The goals, timelines, responsibilities, expectation from the stakeholders. So good communication keeps everyone aligned. So the steps which we have discussed in the previous slide, that is quite connected. So why a project initially failed? Because of the goals. So the first picture that said like the collaborating with the team members, that is very important to understand the project goal, the understand the project timeline, to understand the responsibility of each of the members. And also it's very important to discuss with the stakeholders to understand the expectations. So this field keeps everyone aligned. Okay. Now the in the next context, effective communication users everywhere. So so data scientists, third point is data scientists clearly need articulate their findings and recommendations. So these are the very common one which we have already discussed. Now in the second part, that the stakeholders need to understand the value of the data science work, explain the business value of your work and not just the technical details. Effective communication builds trust and strengthens the relationship between the stakeholders. Okay. Now, stakeholders are people. Okay. Who are stakeholders? These are the people who connected to the projects. As I have already mentioned, like they can be your managers, clients, investor, faculty, the different the uh, project sponsors, clients, your executive, C-level leaders, different departmental heads, anyone can be. So these people may not understand the technical details deeply, but the main point is the stakeholders support the project only when they understand three things. Just keep in your mind. Stakeholders supports your project only when they will understand the value, the benefit, and the business impact. They will focus on these three mainly. They are not interested to understand what are the technical jargons you are doing, what are the thousands line programming you are doing, what are the model you are working on. Stakeholders are those people who are involved. So, so this is very important. The value, benefit, and the business impact. They will focus on these three. So suppose a data science team builds a prediction model. If they explain only the algorithms, coding methods, formulas, then non-technical managers or may not understand why the project matters. So, but if they explain the model can reduce the customer loss by 20% or 30%, or the model will enhance your product, will enhance your product expectation by 30% or 40% compared to the recent analysis. It can help to increase the sales. It can save the time and the cost. Then the stakeholders become interested and supportive. So the important learning from here is have to support what they understand. So the good communication builds the trust, confidence, and the collaboration. Okay. Now the next is improved understanding of data-driven insight. What does it mean? See, data itself has no value unless people can understand it and use it. For example, I have given you a 2000 lines data with 2000 column and 2000 row. It has no value unless you understand and use it in a proper way. So, suppose a report contains a large table like a 2000 column with 4000 row. Okay. Along with that, you have complex graph, difficult terms. Okay. So, however, if the same information is explained simply, like sales increase during the festival, in a particular row, you are explaining for that particular row, the statement is the sales increase during the festival, or the student performs better with the regular attendance, or customer prefer the cheaper plans. Then the decision makers can act quickly rather than check having that particular data sheet. So why is this important? The real goal of data science is not only the analysis. The goal is helping people make better decisions. So that is only possible through clear communication. Now, the next is enhanced collaboration and team performance. So, main idea is good communication improves the teamwork. So, in real project, when many teams work together, it's not about only one or two teams. Okay. So, in reality, many teams are working together. So, in a particular office, if I'm considering, say, HR team is there, production team is there, finance team is there, and the technical team is there, other many other departments are involved with. So they developers, data scientists, manager, designers, marketing team. So if communication is not clear, then the duplicate work may happen, misunderstandings can occur, conflicts can increase, time gets wasted. So that is why the first one, that collaborating with team members, is very, very important. So suppose the analytics team creates a dashboard but never properly explains. So how to use it? What is the matrices mean? So then other teams may misuse that particular information, or clear communication prevents such kinds of problem actually. That all mentioned in the second point in the middle one. Now the last one, that is stronger career prospect. So the main idea is communication skills help career growth. How? in today company do not only look for a technical skills. I'm telling you, they also want people who can present the ideas, explain the solutions, lead the discussions, interact with the clients, uh, work in a team, that is the teamwork. So only having a technical knowledge, don't you expect you will get a very good position. A company always look after this points all along with this. So the you have to be very very good enough presenting your ideas, explaining your solutions, interacting with others, teamwork. So, person with both technical knowledge and communication ability usually grows faster professionally. Okay. Okay. Now, next is challenges of communication in data science. So, obviously, these are the benefits. This is whatever we have discussed till now. Till now. So, these are the positive side. These are the points which we have to keep in our mind. It's all okay. But as we know, everything has a positive and negative side. So, you have daytime, you have nighttime as well. So challenges will be there. Wherever you are working or wherever you are going, challenges will be there. Positive, negative, both you have to face. Okay. Now, what are the challenges of communication in data science? So the very first one, that is the technical jargon and complexity. This is a very important, which I was trying to share with you from the very beginning. This jargon means the difficult technical word used by the experts. Okay. For example, like for a non-technical person, if I'm considering myself as a from a non-technical background, it will be very difficult to me if you are explaining your as I was asking you to explain your project report briefly. If you are explaining your project report in terms of regression, in just one day back, you did your clustering neural network. So if you are explaining your project in terms of regression, clustering, neural network, dimensionality, so using too much of technical language creates confusion. So non-technical person will lose interest, misunderstand the message and feel disconnected. So that is the very major complexity, you can say, or major challenges in data science. This is not the problem. This is not actually the problem. This is a challenges, I must say. Rather than saying the problem, this is basically the challenges for a data science or data scientist or data analyst uh, to express those particular one in front of a non-technical person. It's a big challenges. So communication is successful only when the listener understand the message. If the audience cannot understand the language, and communication will fail. So what we can suggest, like for an example, what we can consider, like the algorithm optimize the predictive accuracy. Instead of saying this one, the algorithm optimize the predictive accuracy. You can say the system become better predicting future results. Okay. This makes communication more human and understandable for a non-technical person. Always, if you have to keep in your mind, whenever you are from a technical background, that whenever you are uh, working in a company, you are not dealing with all the technical person. You have to keep in your mind that in your opposite side non-technical persons are there. As I can see in your internship data, when you filled up the form, few are from economics background, few from statistics, few from BSMS, few from computer science, a few from computer science AIML, few from electrical, few from electronics engineering, few from mathematics. So different domain are there. Now the point is, the you all came from different background, different domain, but you want to, you are here to understand the same thing. So it is very important to deliver the things so that all the person who, it doesn't matter you are coming from which background, you should understand the things whatever is delivering. Okay. So then the second one, bridging the technical business divide. So this is the main idea is technical team focus on the methods and business team focus on the outcomes. That is the main idea over here. Bridging the technical business divide, the main purpose is technical team focus on method. Again, I am repeating, technical team focus on methods and business team focus on outcomes. So, a data scientist may explain models, coding, technical accuracy, but the business leaders usually care about the profit, customer satisfaction, efficiency, and cost reduction. Okay. So the proper justification for this one is, if technical work is not connected with the business value, and the management may think why this project is important. So the connection between the technical work and the real world impact must be clearly shown. Okay. Then the last one, data visualization challenges. The main idea is the graphs and the charts should simplify the information, not create any confusion. Okay. So the problem is poor visualization. Poor visualization may overload the audience, hide the important insights. For example, if you are considering too many colors or crowded charts or tiny text or unnecessary details you are putting over there. So proper justification should be human attention is limited. Okay. So simple visuals help people understand information faster. Okay. So complicated visual increase the mental effort as well. So always try to keep your visualization window very specific, clear. You have to be very clean and you have to highlight the key findings only. And you have to express that in a storytelling form. So the focus attention uh, on important insights only. Okay. Now the next is communicating uncertainty and limitations. So how will you explain this particular challenges? The main idea is data and models never perfect. Main point is Data and model never perfect. Even analysis has assumptions, limitations, and possible errors. All of you know. So you can't say like this data is perfect, model is perfect. Always it will have some assumptions, some limitations, some possible errors. Okay. So, data scientists presents the result 100% correct. People may take poor decisions always. You can't say like this, yeah, 100% prediction, 100% successful. It's really you will get. Okay. So, this creates overconfidence. So, in real world data content, always you will get once you enter to the this data analysis world, maybe in form of a academician or the industry person, you will always get the missing information. Whatever the data you will get, missing information, biasing, noise, changing condition, many other, the errors you will get. So therefore the predictions are prediction probability is not guaranteed actually. So if we consider an example like weather forecasting cannot guarantee the rain exactly. Similarly, predictive models cannot guarantee perfect figure outcomes. So that is why uncertainty must be explained honestly. That is very important. Okay. And transparency is very important. Being transparent builds the trust, credibility, and responsible decision making. So always be transparent no matter whatever you are getting. So if it's doesn't like good or doesn't sounds good as per your prediction or result, be transparent. Yeah, this is not working, this result I'm getting this, but you have to be very concise, you have to be transparent, and that trust credibility should be there. Then the diverse audience. So, sorry, this is basically different people understand information differently. Obviously, now since last 1.5 hours, I'm talking about the communication skill, why this is important for the data scientist. That doesn't mean the way I am telling you, okay, the way I am telling you, each of you, each of you understanding the thing in the same way. Right, because when I was asking that particular slide, why communication is important, that six picture, when I asked you about the picture, different interns has replied in different way, right? So the thinking level is different. So I can't expect that all of you will understand in a same way. Some will understand very well. Some will understand, okay, it's 50-50. Maybe I know many of you are not interested as well. Like, no, it's okay. We are here to do the data science internship. We want to do Python programming, machine learning, deep learning, all these things. So we are not interested on this. So you are completely ignoring this. So that is okay, because that is how it's work, that's how it's work. So different people, we have to understand the people mind as well. We can't expect the same response from everyone. So different people understand the information differently. A single communication style cannot work for everyone. For example, engineers prefer technical details. Manager prefer summary and impact. Clients prefer practical benefits. Now tell me, these are the three different domain person. They are expecting three different form. So the effective communication depends on the audience. So the speaker must adapt the language, depth, example, and the presentation style to according to who is listening. Okay. So the uh, overall thing for these challenges of communication, what we can say along with this three and this two, the the technical knowledge, the summary of this one is that technical knowledge is not enough. Success in data science, or the data science internship, or data analyst, research business, research business leadership depends heavily on clear communication, audience understanding, what we can say, like, yes, collaboration, simplification of complex ideas. So communication transform data into decisions, communication transform analysis to action, communication transforms technical professionals into leaders. So this is the brief of this challenges of communication in data science. Okay. Now the thing is identifying your communication style and audience need. So here few basic type of communications I have put it here. Like, I think this is very, all of you are very much familiar with this. I'm not going to dip into this. Uh, this is actually the based on communication channel, and the based on the style and purpose. So the communication channel is mostly divided into two part: verbal, non-verbal. In verbal, you will get oral, written, and based on the style and purpose, it's formal and informal. So I'm not going to the depth of this verbal and non-verbal part. What I will focus on, that is formal and informal. That is very important for any professional one. So formal communication. Now, as you can see here, this is very important. Okay, this is very, very important. So I would request those who are attending, I would request, please concentrate for a few minutes. It is very important. That is why my PPT presentation plays a, yes, exactly. PPT presentation is a very, very important, significant role in seminar, workshop, and wherever you are going. It's very important. So, formal communication, basically four type. Okay. So I will move forward little fast as we have 30 minutes more. So as you can see, four options, four types are there: diagonal or cross conversation, upward conversation, downward conversation, horizontal conversation. Now, whenever you are in a professional area, or you are communicating professionally, see, the thing is, professionally doesn't mean you have to work somewhere. You are walking, you are working, maybe maximum of you are from undergraduate, and few are doing, I think, postgraduate as well. So whenever you are doing an internship, so you are interacting with us professionally. Okay, so this is also professional communication, and always you, all of you, have to keep in your mind, you have to maintain the professionalism. Now, how to do it? The formal communication. Okay, so first we'll consider the downward communication. This is basically from a top management to lower level employees. When the top management will share the instructions, policies, and goals to the lower level employees. Yes, instructions given. So basically, downward communication mean it from top management to lower level employees. Upward communication from employees to higher management. Upward mean employees to higher management. That is feedback reports, suggestions. Okay, so this is the level of communication from employees to higher management. Next is horizontal communication. This is the exchange of information among peers at the same level, promoting teamwork or coordination. Okay, so horizontal mean, say for example, uh, mm, uh, like horizontal mean we can consider if you are in a, say for those who are you are discussing you are in a team and you are doing your project, all are from same institute. Those who have registered, say for example, from Jadavpur University. So 5 to 6 interns are there. They want to they want to do their, they want to have their group project. Okay, so now that is horizontal communication. So when they are interacting with their same department, so same institute or same department they are organizing. Or the good example is you are working in a workplace and you 5 people are from same department, like say for example from HR department, and they are exchanging the information or sharing some messages or coordinating within themselves. So that is basically horizontal communication. And diagonal or cross conversation mean when the interaction between different departments or levels that improve the interdepartmental collaboration. So you are from HR department, someone some other from technical department, someone from finance department. So all these different departments are involved to improve their interdepartmental collaboration. So that is called the crosswise or diagonal conversation. So like a cyclic method, linear departmental team discussion, report to the employer, then report managers, then again team discussion. uh, Yes, you can consider this one, but it's not mandatorily like always you have to in a in that process only. This is basically type of communication. Okay, so it's not the flow that it has to be in this form, that first the downward conversation, that top management to lower management the instruction will come, then the the feedback will go, then the inter, it is not like that. This is basically I just want to explain, or you have to just understand the type of communication. What type of communication is this? Like when a manager instructing their lower level, then that time what type of communication is this? When employees revert back to their higher management, what kind of conversation is this? It's not always mandatorily like in horizontal communication, exchanging information in between the same departmental peers. They are exchanging some information and they are discussing something that is based on the downwards communication. It's not mandatory. But the thing is, whenever they were discussing something productive, within the within their department, that particular communication, that conversation, uh, known as horizontal communication. But it shouldn't be like it the instruction should be always come from the downward communication only, not mandatory. Can you provide another example of diagonal and concurrent? Yes, diagonal or cross conversation. Uh, this is interaction between two different department and levels. For example, in diagonal conversation, we have same level peers. Diagonal. No, not in diagonal conversation. We don't have same level peers. In diagonal conversation, we interact between different department. So another example for this one, I don't know who is those who are asking this. For example, consider you are from mathematics background. Okay, you are from Jadavpur University mathematics department. And for this summer internship, project work, you have your other group member, uh, or you have to interact with a person who is studying in statistics department from Jadavpur University. So these are the two different departments, mathematics and statistics, but interaction is important for your project purpose. So whenever you are interacting with different department, that is uh, diagonal communication or cross communication. In diagonal communication, peers, it's not mandatory peers need to be from same departments or same level. Horizontal communication, it is mandatory that peers need to be from same department or same place. Okay. Elaborate the upward and downward. Elaborate the upward and downward once again. Okay. Downward mean downward mean when your top management to lower management. So that is when your management giving you some instruction or some sharing some policies or giving you some project goals. That is downward communication. It is coming from your manager's level. And upward communication from employees to higher management. That is feedback reports. You are sending some feedback. You are sending some reports. You are sending some suggestions. So this is upward communication. Upward employees reporting to managers. Yeah. Employees reporting to managers. Right. Okay. Now the so the earlier one was, this is the formal communication. Now coming to the informal communication. So informal communication, the first one is the single strand strand chain. Now, the information passed from one person to the next in a sequence like a telephone game. I don't know whether you played this game telephone in your school days. I don't know whether you played or not, but it's like it's almost like that. So this type of network is usually slow and distortion prone, as the message may be altered varying from one individual to another. Say for example, in the first one, that deep blue, that from person A, say person A say told person B, okay, very slow, very, it's got communication is from any position to any through diverse department. Diverse cross. Yes, diverse department, definitely. Cross communication is from any position to any diverse department. No, it's like you are interacting two people. For example, two people are interacting in a cross communication. They are from two different department. One is from HR department, another one is from finance department. That's the major thing. And horizontal, that is in the same level, same department, same level. Okay, so for the single strand chain, person A told person B, for example, he said communication. Person B understood that, say for example, communication what, like slow motion. Now B told C slow motion. C understood that only motion. He told D motion. So now in this way, slowly the distortion prone and the message may altered varying from one individual to another. Okay. Then the next one is cluster chain. In this case, the individuals share information within their cluster. It is highly effective as information can spread quickly, but it is at the time prone at the time prone like to fragmentation, as this cluster might develop unique communication patterns as well. Okay, so person A will tell B, C, and D, and B will share with EF. She will spread to G, D will spread to H and I. So this way the information will pass on. The next is gossip chain. In this, the information rapidly spreads through a series of interconnected individuals. This is relatively fast as the news spreads among the multiple people at once, but it can be highly inaccurate as the message may need to be more accurate on the way. Okay. And the last one is probability chain. In this case, the individuals only shares the informations, okay, only shares the informations among the ones they believe are most likely to pass it to others. Okay, so this is better than the single strand network, the first one. The first one. So as individuals strategically choose the ones to share the information with. However, it has a few limitations, like the individual biases, perceptions while choosing the ones to share the information. Okay, so that's all about the informal communication. Now why formal communication is important in workplace? So few important thing. Okay, why formal communication important for the in the workplace? Formal communication is crucial, very crucial, because it establishes the clear authority, accountability. This one, authority, accountability, and adds decision making and maintains the professionalism, improves the coordination between department, creates permanent records, and contribute to the organizational cultural development. So it is also helps to reduce the miscommunication and ambiguous throughout the organization. So that is why formal communication is very important. So some common examples of formal communication, what we can include like emails, memos, reports, presentation, business meetings, video calls, of official letters, notice. So these forms of communication follow the structured, formats and maintain a professional tone to convey the important organizational information. Now, the thing is, what are the challenges? Can everything has some challenges, right? So positive and negative always we have to keep in our mind. So what are the challenges can arise with the formal communication? So in informal communication can face the challenges such as slow information flow due to the hierarchical process, lack of the flexibility in urgent situation, risks of the misinterpretation due to the absence of the non-verbal cues. So these issues can sometimes hinder the quick decision making and adaptability in the workplace. So, how will you differentiate the formal and informal communication? So, formal communication is structured, official, follows a chain of command. It takes place through the established channels such as email, reports, meetings, and presentation. uh, in other hand, if we consider this informal communication, this is casual, spontaneous, doesn't follow any official structure or channel. It is usually happens naturally among employees during the breaks or over chats, casual interaction. Moreover, this language used is more relaxed, and it may include the slang or the personal, in very personal level. This is not very associated with the professional one. So whenever you are in a professional field, always try to maintain the formal communication. Now coming to this particular part, so I will not much time we have in our hand, so I will quickly go through this. So in communication we have a different communication model. Okay, linear communication model, non-linear communication model. Now what is linear model? The linear model of communication depicts one way communication and used to communicate with the masses. And the transactional communication model, that is highlights two-way communication with the direct feedback. Okay, so the example of linear communication models are Aristotle models, Laswell's models, Shannon's Weaver models, Boyle's SMCS model. And under transactional communication model, we have other as well, like the dancer's helical model, and the other one, I'm forgetting, like Barland transaction model. And the interactional communication model also we have the third one. So that is highlights the two-way communication with the indirect feedback. Whereas in case of transactional communication, it's within the direct feedback. Okay, so we'll concentrate on the here the Shannon-Weaver's model. So here you will get the Shannon-Weaver model is a theory that Warren Weaver and Claude Shannon created in 1948. Okay, so it's basically, I'm not pretty sure those who are from electronics and communication engineering background, if you have studied your analog communication, digital communication, maybe you have studied this one as well, Shannon model. So there you will get it. Shannon model, which was created in 1948. So it's a mathematical model which describes how communication happens from sender to receiver. So sender is, in this picture you can see that sender, encoding, channel, decoding, and receiver. So sender is basically the where from the message is originating. Encoding means the transmitter which converts the message to signals. Channel is through which the message message passing from sender to the receiver. Okay. And then the decoding part. In decoding, the reception plays the signal which converts the signal into message and reverse process of the encode. That is basically the reverse process of the encoding. And the receiver that converts those binary data or the waves into the message which is comfortable to understand for the receiver. Yeah, in computer science also you will get it. Okay, so this is basically the very, the basic structure of the communication. I'm not going to deep into that. In the channel part, you will get the noise as well. So noise, in a very technical way, the definition of noise is the unwanted signal. In the signal which you are receiving from the receiver to, from the transmitter to receiver or the sender to the receiver, in between when, so whatever the unwanted part you are getting in your signal, that is basically noise. Technical definition of noise is the unwanted signal in your desired signal is known as noise. Who is doing this annotation on the screen? Please stop doing this one. I won't repeat it anyway. I straight away disconnect the class. Further, if I am getting anything. Okay, now coming to the next part, that is the Barlow's SMCR model. So this is basically, as you can see, encodes, decodes. Encodes part is sender message, senders and message, and decodes part is channel and receiver. So the introduction, I have to move little faster because many little more things I have to cover. So I will skip few parts as well. So in the message part, this message in Barlow's SMCR model, this is another linear model. Okay, so I will just explain this four block SMCR. So in the in the first one, so if I am considering the source or the sender, so where the message originates, like the knowledge, attitude, communication skills, or the social system. So this is the first one, that is the sender. So knowledge about the subject one is going to communicate. That is whatever the, say for example, whatever I'm communicating in the class about the subject, the student should have the knowledge about it so that they can communicate further regarding the subject taught by their any other teacher. Okay. So that is the knowledge. Attitude means like the attitude towards the audience of the subject towards oneself, or for that is for example, we can consider the student attitudes is to learn more, for teachers wants to help to teach. Okay. And so this is basically the sender part, or we can say the source part. Now the other one is message. So this message itself is the content being communicated. It can be verbal, non-verbal, written, or visual, and its clarity and effectiveness depends on the several factors. Like what are the factors? Like the content. Content means the beginning of the end of the message comprises its content. For example, from the beginning to the to end, whatever the class teacher speaks in the class is a content of the message. Then we can consider the structure. Structure means the structure of the message is how it is arranged, the way you put the message into various parts. That is the structure. Then the treatment. Next factor is treatment. It refers the packing of the message. Okay. Then we can consider the fourth one, that is code. The code of the message means how it is sent, in what form it could be sent, the language, the body language, the gesture. Okay. So through this, you can give the message, or through which you can communicate. Communication takes place or being reached. And fifth one, we can consider the elements. It includes the various things like language, gesture, body language, expressions, many other things. Okay, so this is all about the effective message, that is that effectiveness, which depends on the several factors. Here we have considered the five factors. Now then, the channel. The channel is nothing but the five sense. Through this only we do the five sense which we can use, like hearing, seeing. Hearing means the use of the ears to get the message, the oral message or interpersonal communication. Seeing means the visual channel, like TV can be seen or message can be delivered, and that we can read. Touching, sense, touching. Then what does it mean? Like the sense of touch can be used as a channel to communicate. For example, we touch and buy food. Okay, so we can understand, like whether the fruit is okay or not. So this touching is very important. Smelling, smell also can be the channel of communication. For example, the very good example is perfume. So whether you want to purchase any perfume or not, so you can smell it. If you're good with that, then you can. Okay, so then the testing. The tongue also can be used for this. Like food can be tested and communication can happen, right? Uh, Channel, ma'am, are channels the platforms which message are sent? Mm, like social platform, channels. I'm not getting your question. Like, are channels the platform via message? Yeah, channels the It's not the platform. It is the medium. It is basically, channels are the medium through which message transfer from sender to receiver. From sender to receiver. So it is not the platform. It is the medium through which the signal is passing through from transmitter to receiver. Okay. So these are the things I have already discussed, like the parameters in between all the senders, message and receivers. So I'm not going to deep into this. So I have already discussed this one. Okay. Now, communication process in data science. So, whatever we have discussed so far in a very brief, like first we have to figure out the problem, then we have to have our data, then we have to do the data analysis part, then we have to figure out all the insights, and then we have to communicate. So entire things whatever we have discussed, that I have put it in a single frame. Okay, so I think at least if few of you could I think you will few of you could relate this one with our earlier discussion, right? Will you able to understand this particular one? Problem, data analysis, insights and communication. First you have to figure out your problem, you have to discuss with your team members, then the data analysis, and then data you have to have in your hand, then the analysis part, then the insights, and then the communication. So for a successful communication process in a data science projects or anywhere, yeah, exactly similar to those six pictures. Yeah, so that is the process. Now, the principle of communications. this is very important. I want to mention this one, the 7 C's of effective communication. This is very, very important. I won't take much time. So 7 C's of communication, that is very important. It provides the checklist to make sure your meetings, your email conference calls, reports, presentation are well built and clear. So your audience gets your message. So how is your communication? You write emails, you facilitate meetings, participate in a telephone conference, creates reports, develop presentations, debate with your colleagues. So the least will goes on, right? So you can spend most of your day communicating. So how can we give your productivity in a huge boost? That is the point. So we can ensure that we communicate as clearly and effectively as possible. So this is why 7 C's of communication are very, very important in a successful communication skill. So according to the 7 C's of communication, it needs to be clear, concise, concrete, correct, coherent, complete. Okay. And so these are the things I have taken. This picture I have taken from directly from Google. Maybe some other book you will get some other terms as well. Okay. But the inner meaning are same, like completeness, clearness, courtesy. Courtesy is very, very important uh, in formal communication. Okay, so open and honest. It doesn't contain the hidden insults or passive or aggressive tones. It should be very polite, and it should be very free language that could be that couldn't be offensive to your audience. So keep your readers point of view in mind. You are empathetic with your needs. Okay. And other one, this conciseness, correctness, uh, then completeness, it is very important. So whenever you are writing any emails, that is very important. So whenever you are even whenever you are communicating with the ideas TIs as well, you can refer to these 7 C's. It is very important. You have to maintain each and every C's. So be very careful whenever you are communicating officially. So I'm not going to dip into the into this. I should have explained this each point in detail, but as time is a constant, I can't explain each and every point. But I will expect that you will follow this one. And the last one, that is very important, that I started from in the very beginning, that how to express your data in a storytelling form. This is using this pyramid principle in communication skill. This pyramid principle, it is basically, it start with the conclusion. So what is the tricks whenever you are expressing your data, your analyzed data, or your data sheet? So always keep in your mind, the principle is, first first point is start with the conclusion. Step 2, provide the key points. Step 3, support points with detailed information. So what are the 3 key points? Whenever you are expressing your data in a story form, you have to start with the conclusion, right? As I said in the red one, that the answer, this is the sample text that you can edit. You can change the font and apply any desired formatting. Okay. So this one is uh, not for uh, any particular project. You can explain it with as per your requirement. So you have to start with your answer. Whatever the output you are getting, you straight away express that this is my conclusion. For example, to capture your audience attention early on, by first telling them the main takeaway message, recommendation, or simply your conclusion. This may be the opposite how we have been taught to communicate, but it's more efficient, especially in writing and with the audience who have limited time or attention. Okay. Now, supporting arguments mean provide the key points. With the main takeaway already communicated, now it is time to support the key arguments and the main points which will support that. Okay. And the last one is support points and detailed information that that will you might still need to make your key points credible. So to support that one, so whatever the document is needed, you can share that one, but always keep in your mind you have to start with the conclusion, then the key arguments, then the supporting details. For example, very short, I will take very short time. So the findings, maybe the buyers are undeserved with the current product. They are mostly missing missing the better visibility into the product uses. Maybe this is your findings from your data sheet. Okay. So now, so this is your key arguments, and the conclusion was recommendation. Your recommendation was the shift the focus of product efforts to the buyer persona. That is your conclusion. Then you provide the key arguments, then their supporting documents. So these are the steps you have to follow using the pyramid principle. I hope this is clear, right? So whenever you are expressing your data in a storytelling form, always try to follow the pyramid principle. Start with the conclusion first, then the key arguments, then the supporting details. Not start with the supporting details and the conclusion last. I hope this is you understood this one. So in the very last, how to better communicate as a data scientist. This is basically very in short, I will say, like, effective communication is we have already discussed, like, effective communication is essential skill for data scientists, because of poor communication can lead to the project delays, misunderstandings, and incorrect business decision. So as a data scientist role, it is not only to analyze the data, but also to explain the insights and to provide the recommendation. So the skills you should have, that is the be comfortable and confident, be a good leader, a good listener, then you maintain the eye contact with the visual meetings. You have to be the empathy for the audience. You have to handle the disagreements professionally. Okay, so overall, the effective communication can help the data scientist to collaborate better, build stakeholder trust, explain the insights clearly, and that ensures that data-driven recommendations are successfully implemented in the real-world business situations. So I have put a quote from written by the Tessa exactly. So I have put one assignments for you. You have quiz as well on this, but I have put assignment. So those who want to do, they can try. I will not force anyone that you have to do this assignment and you have to submit. If you are getting some time, I will suggest that you please go through this subjects for your own development. So if you are getting something from this class, try to do this too. Questions once you get time. No need to send it to me within this any particular time frame. You practice by yourself. Okay, so I have put the submission link, a Google form also I have given. So if you are comfortable enough to do this assignment, you can do. If you are not, there is no hard and fast rule that you have to do it. If you are getting any interest, you can do. That's all. Okay. So that's all from my side. There is no hard and fast time frame for the assignment. Anyway, first I will stop sharing here. Okay. Anyone having any questions left? No, project certificate, that is, I will, okay, I will stop the recording first.